Ford has patented technology for future self-driving cars, in which if you miss your payments, it will repossess itself. Hashtag a boring dystopia. Yeah, no, that's a real technology that Ford has introduced a patent for. They've also got a funny one where if you are behind on payments, your car will start making annoying sounds while you're driving it.
Okay. So when I saw this, all I thought was, sure, they'll do this, and then Ford will start relying on this. All that's going to happen is then someone's going to hack this, and people will start getting free cars.
Why are all the
Is
Fords
it-
driving to one location in downtown Albuquerque? Like,
or someone's gonna hack it to where like here's the code to break it, and it actually goes to their house and they keep it or something.
right.
You know, it's like, oh, whoops, what happened there?
So the patent was filed back in 2021, but it was granted last week. And the system would apparently kick in if the car owner failed to respond to messages informing them they were falling behind on payments. At that point, a series of measures would first be used to make the car unpleasant to drive, then impossible. Finally, as a last resort, the car would return itself to the showroom. The system could begin by disabling features such as GPS, music, or air conditioning.
Oh man.
If you were pissed off over heated seat subscriptions, I can't imagine signing the waiver to allow Ford to do this. Because here's the deal. When you purchase a vehicle, and you finance said vehicle, what you are doing is taking ownership of a vehicle, but with a lien against it. Which means if you don't fulfill your end of the agreement, a la paying off the vehicle, the lien holder can then come back at you and repossess said asset. This works for houses, this works for cars, this works for a lot of financial things. If you've ever gotten a personal loan, you might have had to put something up for collateral and said like, yeah, I'll sign away my, 1792 Stradivarius violin if I fail to pay back this loan. And if you fail to pay it back, guess what? The bank's going to come take that violin. So the car is the collateral. But you are the owner of that car, even if there is a lien against it. And this works with your house as well. You're a home owner, even if there's a lien against your home. So it's really interesting that anyone in their right mind, and I know this is going to sound like oh, Ford should just let the people keep it. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is whoever in their right mind would sign up for a program that would allow Ford to drive the vehicle back to their showroom. If Ford's had a bad month, they can flick the switch after 24 hours of missed payment.
Yeah, right. Well, I was then thinking, okay, what happens if it's in a crowded area, someone or it gets into an accident? What happens if that system fails and injures someone?
Right.
Who's liable?
You're technically still the owner. Although once Ford activates the
repossessor owns it.
Right.
So it would be Ford.
Right.
Also, what happens if you're say you went and got it on sale and then you move to a rural area, the gas can is empty and just pitters out in the middle of the road? What happened on the road?
Yeah.
What happens then? I doubt every Ford dealership is going to have this GPS locator in every one of their dealerships, before this initiative goes out. So this is, I don't know, dumb, really bad on Ford.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a weird, like I said, a boring dystopia type patent. But they have been granted that patent. This is now Ford patented technology. if you fall behind on your payments, we will just have the car drive itself back to us. I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest.
Well, if it is patented, that doesn't mean they're going to use it. They just wanted it patented
right.
for that
They
particular
wanted
option.
to. Right. So
that could, I mean, don't know, because a lot of companies do stuff like that, saying, you know, we want a patent on X, that way our competition can't claim their cars do this.
Right.
And this patent might also fall into a particular category of driving back to a particular location.
Right.
That actually could be the patent. It's not for repossession, but just a GPS then can be driven to a particular location, and then Ford could say, well, we get 30 cents for every car, or $100 for every car that has this feature, because we have a patent on that. That actually could be the patent. So
yeah,
because we haven't looked at the physical patent itself, but maybe that's what Ford's thinking.
Right.
I don't know.
So at the bottom of the article, Ford did not respond to a request for comment by newscientist.com, but they did get in touch with a security expert from the University of Surrey, UK, Alan Woodward, who said there are definitely security risks with such a system, saying, quote, "It'll be a brave vehicle manufacturer that builds this into their vehicle as standard. I can imagine a car thief not just finding an unauthorized way into the system, but also social engineering authorized users to give them access," end quote. And yeah, that was one of my first thoughts, is any system is a vulnerable system. Look no further than Stuxnet, which was an air-gapped nuclear reactor and got infected with a virus by the US government from like 1999. This wasn't anything else. This was literally a virus that will hop onto a floppy drive and lay inert until it finds the exact protocols and listening ports that it's looking for, and then it will become active. So any system that exists can potentially be exploited. And man, one that automatically drives your car away, I don't know about that.
Well, yeah. I mean, just even the systems that are nowadays that we kind of take for granted, like the wireless keyless start, you know, there's even the whole distance thing that they had to work out for a long time.
Yeah.
Of you know, you could be in your diner on the window seat, and you know, if your car was, I think it's like 50, 60 feet, someone could just hop in and be like, oh, I know this is automatic start. Let's see if it's unlocked, and let's see if I can do this.
Right.
And take off with your car.
Yep.
You know, so
yeah. There was, at one point in time, Mythbusters were looking into RFID, NFC as it relates to car security and credit card security. And what would it take for someone to steal those credentials? They had submitted the script, a draft of the plan, to Discovery for approval. And I guess like 48 hours later, Adam and Jamie, who were the executive producers of Mythbusters, were called down to the Discovery offices. And in the room was every lawyer for every credit card company on the planet saying, you will not produce this episode.
Yeah.
You will not expose how fragile,
how easy,
NFC, RFID technologies are. Security researchers know. But there's security researchers knowing, and then there's literally everyone else knowing.
I mean, that was one of the #1 shows at a given time.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Yeah, it was one of the #1 cable shows ever. You know, millions upon millions of eyeballs every single week. And but no, they got sat down in front of legal counsel for Discover, American Express, Visa, MasterCard, Chase, Wells Fargo,
who probably owns stock in Discovery.
Yeah, every single major creditor or credit authorizer was in that room, and they said, "You will not produce this video." Adam Savage has a much better story about it because, well, he was in that room.